Hello and welcome to a special episode coming your way from Nile TV International regarding the Senate elections 2025 for the upcoming round for the next 5 years here in Egypt. And as we did see over the past couple of days, on the 1st and the 2nd of August, we have witnessed the participation of the Egyptian expatriates residing outside of Egypt in 117 countries through 136 polling stations participating in the Senate elections. And tomorrow on the 4th and the 5th of August, for the upcoming couple of days, we'll be witnessing the participation of the Egyptians within Egypt in the Senate elections. We will be focusing on such an important topic for the past couple of days and the next couple of days as well, but we'll be starting straight away with the main top stories for today, as Prime Minister Mokhtar witnessed the opening of the 6th edition of the Egyptians Abroad Conference under the slogan of "From Everywhere, Egypt is the Destination." The conference takes place over 2 days, August the 3rd and the 4th, with the participation of representatives of the Egyptian communities abroad. Prime Minister Medbouli stressed the care file of the Egyptians abroad is topping the priorities of Egypt and President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi. The Prime Minister reviewed the efforts exerted by Egypt under the leadership of President al-Sisi to achieve the aspirations of the Egyptians towards a better future and support the sincere Egyptians abroad. Medbouli assured that President al-Sisi always directed to exert utmost efforts to defend the rights and dignity of the Egyptians abroad, responding to their needs and providing them with all the facilities. Meanwhile, and within the same context, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Migration and the Egyptian expatriates, Bedr Abdulati, asserted that it is time to unite the efforts of the Egyptian communities worldwide under one umbrella and one entity that expresses the aspirations of the Egyptians abroad in a coordinated and comprehensive manner. This came during Foreign Minister Abdulati's speech at the opening session of the 6th edition of the Egyptians Abroad Conference that is being held with the participation of Prime Minister Mustafa Medbouli, a number of ministers and members of Parliament and the Senate. The Foreign Minister expressed his sincere appreciation, respect and pride to President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi for all the efforts exerted to take care of the Egyptians abroad, as they are the first line of defense for the Egyptian national interest. The Foreign Minister also hailed the political, economic and social modernization process that Egypt has witnessed over the past decades. We will be heading for the first report of the daily debate for tonight, focusing on the voting in the Senate 2025 elections that took place outside of Egypt for the Egyptian expatriates, as I mentioned, in 117 different countries, 136 polling stations. But it is a constitutional right and a political responsibility by the Egyptians abroad towards the country. We'll be having more details in the upcoming report. Stay tuned.
Egypt anticipates 2 significant political developments in the second half of this year. These are the elections of the 2 chambers of Parliament, the Senate and the House of Representatives. The Senate vote will be held on Monday and Tuesday, the 4th and 5th of August, for citizens living in the country, while it was already held on the 1st and 2nd of August for Egyptians living abroad. The National Election Authority, the NEA, under Councillor Haizen Badawi, called on all eligible voters inside and outside Egypt to participate in the elections, noting that turnout at the ballot boxes is not merely an exercise of constitutional right, but also fulfillment of a national and moral responsibility. Every ballot cast in the election is crucial in shaping the future of the nation. The NEA is committed to transparency and honesty, highlighting great efforts exerted by the authority over the past period in spreading awareness among voters. In the lead-up to the vote, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs held preparatory meetings with NEA officials and heads of Egyptian diplomatic missions to coordinate logistics and ensure smooth operations. Discussions focused on streamlining procedures and making polling stations easily accessible to Egyptian citizens abroad. A central operations room was established to monitor the vote continuously, respond to logistical challenges, and maintain oversight of the electoral process. The final results of the first round will be announced on August 12th with the resumption of the campaign period for any potential runoff elections on the same day. The two-day overseas voting process was conducted across 136 polling stations housed within Egyptian embassies and consulates in 117 countries. The Constitution requires that both the Senate and House of Representatives elections be held no later than 60 days before the expiration of each chamber's term. Accordingly, the Senate elections is scheduled in August, followed by the House of Representatives elections in November. The Senate consists of 300 members, one-third of whom are elected through closed lists, another third through individual seats, while the remaining third is appointed by the President. The law mandates that at least 10% of the seats be allocated to women. It was important to raise awareness of the Senate role and its constitutional roles and to encourage citizens, especially young people, to exercise their constitutional rights to vote and participate. Egyptians are eager to cast their ballots and participate in the Senate and parliamentary elections, so they will yield two competent parliaments that can effectively oversee the performance of the government and pass legislative reforms. Some 424 candidates compete for 100 individual seats, with 183 independent and 241 party-affiliated candidates. There is also a single electoral list called the National Unified List for the sake of Egypt, running unopposed for another 100 seats allocated to party lists.
Welcome back. You're still watching Nile TV International, and this is special edition covering the Senate elections for the past 2 days for the Egyptian expatriates that took place in 117 countries, and for the upcoming 2 days as well, on the 4th and the 5th of August, regarding the Egyptians living within Egypt in 27 governorates. And I'm honored to be having with me in the studio for tonight for such a special event, a special political event for the history of Egypt, and at least for the upcoming 5 years. I'm honored to be having with me in the studio Dr. Mohamed Mokhtar, the international relations expert. Thank you very much for being with us tonight, Doctor.
I've been very glad to join the programs and with you, Mr. Ahmed.
The pleasure is all mine, of course. We have seen Dr. Mohamed over the past couple of days, ever since Thursday night evening and the early hours of Friday until 7 a.m. For today, the end or the closure of the last polling station in Los Angeles in the United States of America for the Senate elections 2025 with the coordination of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, of course, different embassies, different consulates in more than 100 countries, and the efforts of the National Elections Authority. How did you see the success of organizing the Senate elections of 2025?
I see, like you mentioned in the introduction, sir, that's it's the history. Egypt doing always the history and the future, and our vote for every Egyptians living abroad and overseas, that's is a good and clear message. The important to vote, and it's seen and show the cooperation between the ambassador, between the government, and of course the violation authorities, all of that supporting and also using internets and using the technology
Yes.
to be easier to select and taking care about this vote is shown well, is a good message. How is Egypt is stable, looking for better futures, especially for that type of vote, because everybody could ask herself what is important for it. It's important to how the consular and the consular of this type of this type of vote, to taking care and taking all the opinion and the consultation related to the senator of this vote.
Yes, Doctor, you mentioned a very important point for the future of Egypt, not just the Senate elections outside of the country, which is the digital transformation, as we have, yes, the technology, the internet, yeah. And we have seen this in the expatriates. Of course, polling stations in more than 100 countries, 117 countries, 136 polling stations, for the benefit of the potential voter coming from their homes to the consulates, to the embassies of Egypt in different parts of the world, swiftly and easily putting or casting their ballot and returning once again to their homes as soon as possible, as quickly as possible.
Easier.
Yes, how do you see the future of this process, but here for the Egyptians, within Egypt?
Egypt is the message very clear. And the message was that where to go. If I'm Egyptian, working abroad or not in the country in this type, yes. I go to these programs and know where is the place I'm able to select or to make my vote in. And also try the control and the very clear corporations using the high technology of the digitalization, how to use it, where to go, and easier. And I think it's been the message very clear to the time, as you mentioned, yes. in your question, sir. That's Egypt tries to take care about what's happening from our what's happening in the past, yes. to let the people get easy to go at maximum from 15 minutes to get this vote in and to done the vote easier. And for gaining for that, it's gaining, like I mentioned before, it's the features. Show how is the stability, commercial and even economy. And using technology, that's the technology needs. Yes. And also the authority of that had made several conference and get the consulars in open screen, different places, different country, and show well what's going on in there. And to try to, with the good cooperation, fixing anything could be happening, and was respecting all type of scenarios to get easier for the peoples. This the thing is.
Yes, how do you see the efforts of the National Elections Authority in terms of facilitating the procedures, yes. of voting for the Egyptians outside of the country, the expatriates, and of course looking ahead to the upcoming couple of days as well, on the 4th and the 5th of August. We all need things to be easier in terms of voting.
Of course. I show advisor, he's managed the authority of the vote. He's doing very, very good cooperation with every consular and, yes. every embassy. And then have to do several conferences before the starting.
The head of the executive committee, Councillor Ahmed Bindari.
Yes, of course. Advisor Ahmed Bindari is being clear message and talk directly if there is anything. This the things. This is the corporation. This yes. is and gaining from any things that happen, fixing on the direct. I mean, as if Advisor Ahmed Bindari is in the embassy. He's showing everything's there.
Yes.
That's easier to passing and pushing the things and coordinate together to let this vote to have a clear, good message for Egypt to 225.
Yes, Doctor, we have seen the Central Operations Room with Councillor Bindari, with the members of the National Elections Authority, the virtual meeting going on between Councillor Bindari and, of course, Ambassador Nabil Habashi as well, the Foreign Ministry Deputy or the Deputy Foreign Minister, with those meetings taking place virtually with embassies, as he mentioned, with consulates all over the world, from Africa to America to Europe,
yes.
everywhere.
Yes.
How did you see those efforts over the past couple of days, and we are anticipating another press conference, other meetings, but within Egypt for different governorates. I think maybe more than 12 hours away at 10 a.m. tomorrow morning.
Yes, inshallah. First of all, this is the image. Egypt tried to make the image of Egypt. We are in 2025.
Yes.
What's happening with Mr. Advisor Ahmed al-Bindari and all the consular everywhere and assistant to the foreigner assistant minister and the minister, all of that, this is the message to get Egypt 225 image and being clear to hold the world. Egypt is not less than any country. Egypt is coming. Egypt is going in the right track. If you're doing the vote, same like we do it in everywhere, there's the things. There's the things. Let everybody from the persons in the country to be cheering and taking care of his opinion, taking care of his selection, how to vote. And this is what is happening. I'm really very glad to found that and to get that. And this type of cooperation and communication, very high communication, to fixing the problems, to be all as one part. Because using the internet has become, and digitalization now is one part. We are on one track, one side.
Yes.
So that's what is happening. This is why Egypt tried to do, and to passing a clear image and message for how is Egypt taking care about everything, and important for every person in Egypt to be select his persons, his one to be in as a senator of that voting.
How has the image of Egypt changed under the tenure of His Excellency President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi for the past 10 or 11 years, unlike what we had with the terrorist brotherhood organization in 2013, on the political level, on the legislative level as well?
This is a deep question, yes. And related to my professional and international relations, this is showing the message. First of all, that Egyptian, as was happening in the past in Libya, and our president Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, they led this things passing and go in operation related to that.
Yes.
Important for everybody to select, to vote, to take decisions, to hear from every part in the community of Egyptians. Really the message been upgrading, using the youth in very good positions, and also taking care of them criteria, and even them planning them dreams to hear it and be achievement. Really we're passing over this 10 years regarding to our president Mr. Fattah al-Sisi. Yes, we are moving in a good well steps, and in very special time related to the whole world, not just in Egypt. And we still, what we say, we still stand, and stand strong, Egyptianly, and even politically and economy-wise, and related to commercial also. I say that we become more shining, more in to all the world. That Egypt is not is very special country in the whole world, and them action and them internal things related to Egyptian, not anybody else. It's been changing the message reference to that what happening in the past.
Yes, what is the constitutional role of the Egyptian Senate, at least for the upcoming 5 years in specific?
That's coming 5 years. That's we need more to get use in the community. We need also solving all the economy steps and economy things commercially, and to be open for the whole world with all cooperation reference to win-win situations. Cooperate with every international organizations and countries, and let the step for us to be gaining more and to be one of the first country that is on the top. As we were doing that in these steps.
Doctor, you mentioned the importance of youth in the participation of the Egyptian Senate for 2025. Outside of Egypt, we have seen good participation by the youth, and what to expect for the upcoming couple of days in terms of the youth participation for the Egyptian Senate?
You will find several, my opinion, you will find different, I mean, many of you is in the castle of course, in that vote.
Yes.
We will find using is taking care about the actions and the position, and I believe and I show it will be different senators taking care senators from this youth this part of 2025.
Yes, it will be a different round. Dr.
Yes.
Mohamed, allow me to be going to the other report of the daily debate for tonight, or this special coverage coming your way from Nile TV International for the Senate elections, because we'll be having an upcoming report about the media outlets, how they are facing the importance of covering the Senate elections within Egypt, according to the statements of the head of the SIS, Mr. Dia Rashwan. We'll be having more details in the upcoming report. Stay tuned.
Chairman of State Information Service Dia Rashwan said the international media coverage of 2025 Senate elections were on the highest level, which have ended for Egyptians abroad and will take place in Egypt on Monday and Tuesday. Such efforts are being coordinated through an operations room led by SIS chief. In a statement issued Saturday, Rashwan said the operations room includes the Foreign Press Center and SIS sectors for foreign media and information. He pointed out that the room provides multiple fast communication methods for all foreign media correspondents accredited by the National Election Authority, whether residents or visitors, to facilitate their coverage and overcome any obstacles they might face during the voting process. He said elections have significantly attracted attention of international media outlets, noting that a large number of officers and representatives from major global media organizations have applied for permits to follow the electoral process. Rashwan added permits have already been approved and granted to 86 Arab international media entities, including 82 media organizations and 4 media services companies. The media outlets include 21 of the world's largest and most widely circulated news agencies, along with 6 major regional and international radio and television networks, 25 channels and 23 newspapers and magazines, including 3 prominent online news outlets. SIS had noted that these media outlets represent 32 countries from various continents, including United States, Canada, Cuba, Spain, Germany, Austria, Italy, the UK, Belgium, Switzerland, France, Netherlands, Russia, China, Japan, Turkey, Vietnam, and Bangladesh. The media outlets from the Arab world include representatives from 14 countries, including the UAE, Qatar, Jordan, Saudi Arabia, Iraq, Kuwait, Tunisia, Morocco, among others.
Welcome back. You're still watching Nile TV International, and this is special edition regarding the coverage for the Egyptian Senate for 2025 and for the upcoming 5 years as well. And I'm honored to be having with me here in the studio Dr. Mohamed Mokhtar Darwish, the international relations expert. Thank you very much once again for being with us tonight on this special edition. And we were speaking about the youth before this report. But what about the importance of raising the awareness with the youth and with the other Egyptian expatriates for the past couple of days, and for the Egyptians in general, of the importance of participating in the Senate elections for the 4th and the 5th of August?
First of all, I'm always glad to be joined Nile TV and your program show, Mr. Ahmed.
Anytime.
And I believe in the youth. And I need to give them the message. You are the power. You are the future.
Yes.
Any country without youth is missing so much. And I need to let every youth, if you are not in this this year, this 5 of years. Try to prepare yourself to be one of the management, one of the decision maker. Try to study and learn and put yourself and make, yourself as, make your own signatures. Put yourself in the things, to be.
Yes.
Using the different type of channels, okay?
In the process
and
itself.
the process.
Yes.
And the government now, there is a program related to the taking care of what used to be one of the minister, assistant minister, and so on. Reference to the National Academy and part other of the National Academy. Put yourself in this type of programs and believe in yourself, and you will be. You will be, inshallah. But try to take care of these the things. The scope is opening right now, but you should put yourself. Try to fight for yourself, for your nature to be in. And reference to your question, sir,
yes.
Youth is really the future. Youth is very, very important to every government, and Egyptian government and our president taking care about that. And every union in Egypt, taking care about that and put them in the mirror, put him in the focus points for them.
Yes.
And you will not find any plan related to any union in this vote,
yes.
Not from youth. At least more than 15%, it should be, okay?
Yes.
And this the things. And everybody from the youth, ask yourself, why I'm not being? If I'm not being, I will be. Try to take, your planning and prepare yourself for that to be. And you need some experience, you need some preparations. Try to upgrade yourself, try to put yourself to be one of Egyptian team to present the youth very well as soon, inshallah.
Yes, on the 1st and the 2nd of August, we have seen the efforts of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, the National Elections Authority, to be organizing the Senate elections outside of Egypt. So we have seen special attention given to the people with disabilities, for the people outside of Egypt. How would you rate the efforts of both the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and the National Elections Authority? And within Egypt, for the upcoming couple of days, on the 4th and the 5th of August, the efforts by the Ministry of Interior and the National Elections Authority for the same aim?
It's very, very good cooperations, and to get easier, to them try to get gravitate Egyptians living outside of the country to be, your opinion is important to us. You should be, we will try, and them know well how it's the life outside of Egypt. The time is very important to every country's abroad, and everybody will try to make the elections and selections and the vote need to be easier in time, don't want to waste them time, and try to the country give him the message, we really important for your vote. We're really important for your opinion to select, to be with us, because we are in one community. Yes, of course, you're living outside, and you are of the economy, one of the change, and you're able to change whatever you would like to select in Egypt. And that's why the First Minister, the Minister of Affairs and also of Elections, both Mr. Advisor Ahmed al-Bendari, very cooperate and take this message clear to the ambassador and make community and supporting together and making plan and making also different type of scenario. And before the starting date from Friday, this was more than 5 or 6 appointments and communications meetings abroad with all the ambassador. Any upgrading, any updating, there any troubles happen, anything then, and it will be using the technology and techniques to finalize. And one of the conference I was shown at, was something in the sound and fixed already on site. This the things, and we really care. I believe that everybody in the country is really care to put your vote, to put your side of select. This is creating the future. This is how to create the future. This is the the minister to could be, and the one to take in, like Advisor Ahmed al-Bendari effort, really is a great man.
Yes, those efforts, as you mentioned, they evaded any problems, and they solve the problems that we have seen, even if there were only a couple of problems from 117 countries. And this meant that there was a big effort before the elections. Yes, the preparations. How did you see the preparations and the meetings between the National Elections Authority members, of course, headed by Councillor Ahmed Erbinderi of the Executive Committee, because the National Elections Authority itself is being headed by Councillor Hazem Badawi. But for the Executive Committee of the National Elections Authority, the meetings taking place between the ambassadors, between the consuls, between the members of the authority, how do you see the importance of those meetings, those preparations, to be evading any problems, to be solving those problems, and more specifically ahead of the elections that will be taking place for the Senate of 2025, and of course for the upcoming 5 years that will be starting tomorrow?
Sir, I will give you the good example.
Yes.
As we in international organization, a reference to my professionally in international, that's the thing is, make the plan as you will.
Yes.
Doing preparation as you will. And the things that clear, show that's the trouble. When you are in, when you fact, I mean the starting day is in, this is the show.
Yes.
This is the progress is starting. And if you prepare well and using the management, know the scopes, know any default could happen, have several planning, as we see a plan A and plan B and C and so on, and we are ready, and every team know his duties and job duties. This is why Mr. Ahmed Erbinderi tried to cooperate with that and supporting with the ambassadors and consular. That's any things could be, okay, where we step on, where we are step in the management, what is the trouble is, and solving the issue directly. That's the things. This is the preparations. It's not being verbal. You can do a verbal plan, but effective.
On the ground.
On the ground.
We need the steps.
On site. On site. Well, we say that's in the international project. We say it's in the steps. That's them are doing. That's the message, and them are also trying to. What I've found it. Them are writing all the things that happen, and to try to corrective. I mean, as short-term action and long-term. I think that there is something will be upgrading on the long-term. That's before we will not having something like that, and very prepared. And that's why is we are going on the right track as we seen in that last vote. This is the things. And pension as we're coming. If we go like that, I mean we're able to pass it, and also with good increasings for voting people to try to come to vote. I think it will be increasing, inshallah.
What is the significance of holding the Senate elections for the future of policy and politics here in the country?
The gaining and significance is upgrading from there is no things as we, of course, no, nothing is 100%, but we try to put it as 100%. Try to solve all the cases, all the scenarios, all the things need to be opinion. And that's why the senators and this vote is need to be parallel with also the other ways and the other channels to select and to have a different consultants reference to all what happening in Egyptian community, and to select the right persons to be in this castle or under this castle, to select rights and giving them opinion and study this opinion and the planning and prepare and using the management and even the technology. If this all corporate together, it's the elements for coming futures. And it show us clear what's our Egyptian government and Egyptian team try to do, and try to mirror that and show that for every places. And that's why all the newspaper try to cover the news in everywhere, States, Europe, all, and even Gulf area, and to cooperate with other countries to get this vote easier. And inshallah, we're starting tomorrow the internal vote, and it will be, if it's going like that, it'll be much easier. And before, for example, we didn't have to go on programs to know where I am able to select. It would not happen before. It was getting more easier. And if it's also effective this year, that if I'm not able to go to my place, to go into other and mention that with approval for the judge of this vote, I think it will be more and easier, inshallah.
Yes, Dr. Mohamed Mokhtar Darwish, the international relations expert. Thank you very much for being with us tonight on Nile TV International. Anytime.
I appreciate it.
Anytime. And we will be heading to the last report of this special edition for tonight ahead of the Senate elections that will be taking place on the 4th and the 5th of August, regarding the presidential activities of His Excellency President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi that took place over the past week, all wrapped up in the upcoming report. Thank you for watching and goodbye.
President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi follows up on the latest developments regarding the implementation of industrial projects and the provision of raw materials required for the industrial process. President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi reviews the implementation status of projects of the Ministry of Transport and Industry, particularly those related to the railway system. President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi follows up on several areas of work and initiatives of the Ministry of Endowments. President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi receives Lieutenant General Zahir Shamsad Mirza, Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff Committee of the Islamic Republic of Pakistan. President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi received Guido Crosetto, the Italian Minister of Defense. President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi received a phone call from Keir Starmer, the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. The call addressed the distinguished bilateral relations between Egypt and the UK. President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi received a phone call from Mr. Dick Schoof, the Prime Minister of the Netherlands. The call addressed various aspects of bilateral relations between Egypt and the Netherlands.